Leandre Gota Tejus.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe.
In the chat, what's good, everybody? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to see everybody. Good to see all y'all in the chat, man. Turning up on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. I see y'all, everybody. Facebook, Instagram. Let's go. Welcome in. Welcome in to the Coach Smook Scoop post practice report here on the Coach Smook Network, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Being able to have that little break between morning, waking up, and then coming on live without having to do it live in the morning, it felt good. I feel good. Don't I look refreshed? I be working out, so when I come on here, it's like immediately after working out, I'm like, my sit down and cool down is doing the show in the morning on most of those days. So got a lot of energy today, ready to get into it. Got some coffee on me. Still been eating like crazy, y'all. I'm really gonna be at my my walk around weight by the time kickoff gets here. Next Saturday. Somebody say next Saturday. We got kickoff, man. We got kickoff. Give it up, man. We got kickoff next Saturday, man. Like, what else is there to talk about, man? We got kickoff next Saturday against the Florida State Cinnamon Rolls, baby. I mean, Seminoles. Florida State Seminoles. Shout out to my guy. He been lighting them up on the socials, man. What's that? Oh, wow. So I thought I lost my phone, my other phone, y'all. Sweetheart just found it in the car. Next Saturday, baby. We in there, man. Roll Tide to everybody in the chat on YouTube, man. Since y'all here and I can see y'all comments on this side, I'm gonna bring them up and give y'all some shout outs, man. Hey, yo, Sully, what's up, man? 334, I see you. Roll Tide, welcome in. Tevin, what's good, brother? Welcome in, brother. Good to see you, man. Zach, what's good? Roll Tide. Urban Essen, what's good, sis? Dylan, how you feeling? Jordan, how you feeling? I'm feeling good this morning, y'all. I feel good. I felt good this morning. I got good stretching. I got to get to the gym today. I've been eating good. Like life is looking up, man. We got a lot of things that we about to. I ain't gonna lie, y'all know how I am when we got news and information and stuff, or we got big announcements. So I'm just trying to stay calm so we can make it to that day. October is going to be a beautiful, beautiful month for the Coach Smook Network and the AAA family. It's going to be a great, great month. I can't wait to. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to continue to do what we've been doing to achieve what's going to be able to be announced in October. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. But some updates before we jump into the conversation. We do not have a live tonight. I think Alabama Voice of College Football has, we have a call-in show late night over there, but I won't be over there. I think I'm going to try to do some more gaming content. I actually got in touch with some creators that are willing to represent the teams that's on Alabama's schedule. I found all but ULM, Eastern Illinois, Vanderbilt. I found a representative from every team but those teams right now, and we're still trying to work to get the game against Cam Newton on for the Iron Bowl week. So y'all continue to support on TikTok. That's the only way we're gonna get up there and get it. And then what else we got? Don't forget the merch. Somebody, one of the mods, man, if you could just get the merch link in the chat for everybody. I'm going to pin it in the chat today. Next Saturday, we're going to whoop up on some Knowles, man. We're going to beat the brakes off them boys, man. I'm telling y'all, I told y'all, I did a Twitter post. I tweeted something yesterday about the score prediction. And I had a very, very, very detailed description of how I could see this thing going. So, hold up. Somebody said, I hope not, Coach. Who's scared about the kicking game? I think we're in a good spot. Coach Mo giving Zion Gibson a shout out earlier today. That's what's up, man. Hey, it was cool meeting Coach Mo's wife and his I think it was his sister. His wife and his sister-in-law, one of them. But they had the kids walking into the scrimmage last weekend. She was like, "You need some help with something?" I was like, "No, ma'am, I'm good." She was like, "No, my husband, he's one of the coaches." I was like, "Oh no, ma'am, you good. You just look familiar. I remember you from the pictures. Nice to meet you." She was like, "What's your name?" I told her about my YouTube channel and stuff. So hopefully she one of the new subscribers that we got over the weekend. And it's crazy. We got over 30 subscribers over the weekend. So give it up for that too, man. Y'all was spreading the word. Y'all with going live and everything, y'all were putting in work, putting out the shares, man. We had crazy amount of shares Saturday. And then the Sunday viewership on that same live video from Saturday was pretty high. So we doing good. We doing good putting the word out and getting everybody tapped into the Coach Smook Network. But we also want to take that same energy and use it to filter it straight to Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Guys, we're doing some special things over there. When I say the level of access that we're going to be able to have throughout the season, because we are now a part of a national editorial organization that really covers college football. Like, it's an organization that's a different realm we're working in now. And so it's another opportunity for us to learn for us to grow, to collab and network with, content creators who are serious about their brand or serious about growing and being authentic. That's one thing I appreciate about being a part of this team. I get to be the authentic me, and they willing to bet on it. So I'm rocking with it. So before I even get started, y'all, I gotta take a second and acknowledge somebody that just walked in. Hold on. I had to get some sugar, y'all. My sweetie just walked in. We've been having some good prayer moments and things of that nature, and God is really blessing and setting some things up for both of us. I see it happening, and I feel it. So let's get into the show, y'all. Let's get into the conversation. Alabama post-practice report. As you all know, Alabama has wrapped up its 18th practice. This is the second to last practice before we are on game prep week. Today was the 18th practice. I apologize, y'all. Today was the 18th practice. Yesterday was the 17th practice. But if you all have not been on the channel, we posted the official University of Alabama athletics. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Roll Tide family. Welcome in, Roll Tide. $1 million band preview at set. Oh, Jordan, why you ain't tell me about this earlier? We can do that. I really would like to do that. That'll be a good vlog. What's you looking for? Oh, that's gone. But before we get into it, y'all, I did want to announce one thing. We do have a new pilot that we'll be co-hosting on starting in September. Third week of September, we'll be collabing with another YouTube channel. And then we also have a female personality that will be being like a steady guest host right here on the Coach Smook Network. I can't wait to see this energy unfold, see this whole series or this whole new show unfold. And then, of course, you all know we're trying to get a SEC collab going with myself, Jason, Hall of Fame Jason, Shawty, High Top Sports. It's a lot of them across the SEC that when we collab, we do quality work, we do quality things. So be on the lookout for a lot of different content here on the Coach Smook Network and all the other channels that we've been rocking with, man. Ballot Sports Media, we plan on having him on as a guest here, as a weekly show personality that's going to show up and provide some different insight. Then what else we got? We got so much going on, Chad. I had to pull the whiteboard back out. I went and had to go listen. I think I'm playing. I started over, right? I started my whiteboard over. I got my August task on one side, well, one half, and then we're gonna do our plan of action at the bottom half. So we got to get back organized. We got a crazy season ahead of us. High school football coverage. We actually got invited, or officially going to be going to a big game this year between two top high schools in Northeast Georgia. One of them houses a few Alabama commits. The other one houses a few Alabama decommits, right? So we're going to see how that pans out with Gainesville and Carroll. Going to see that game. But we got some in-state games that we're going to see too in the state of Alabama. Xavier Crowell, we all saw the news about Crowell. Lesson learned, mistake made. Lesson learned, it is what it is. Continue to grow. Serve your one-game suspensions. Support your teammates. Support your coaching staff. Support your program. And continue to be the upstanding young man that you are. I know Crowell from around the way, and I talk with a lot of people in his circle. And he's an upstanding young man, one of those guys that's really focused on his craft and does not want to do anything to jeopardize that. And so I think the accountability factor with this new NIL era is starting to become more and more prevalent day by day. But shout out to Crowell and the family and the cap for being accountable, and the staff for holding him accountable, and he himself. Not trying to hide anything, not trying to, look for a way out of it, just to kind of acknowledge what happened and keep moving. Keep it moving. That's everybody make mistakes. He's 17 years old. 17-year-old being given opportunities that most adults would dream to have, and he hasn't even taken a collegiate snap. So is something to be a part of this time and day, this day and time. Let's get into the conversation. Alabama post practice report coming at you right now here on the Coach Smook Network. Britt, if you can jump in the studio and get some practice on your computer. But other than that, chat, let's jump into it. Y'all ready? And let go. You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips? The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, we just got a few things to talk about today. As you all know, we're not gearing up. We're in full go mode when we're talking about gearing up for our matchup against Florida State. So for about 15 minutes here, I'm just kind of give y'all a rundown of what you can start to hear or can start to expect to hear from the staff, from the player availability, which was, I think, the last official day, other than, the media availability that they're going to have for leading up to the game was yesterday, or the 19th. The 19th was the last live viewing period. But media availability, they're going to put out the new schedule. Once they do that, man, we really going to be up and down that road, making sure that we're getting the coverage that you all deserve. So now, talking a lot of like future planning or immediate future planning, meaning things that are happening right now schematically, I think you're starting to see a new flow and the culture of what Kalen DeBoer has established in previous stops as a head coach. That's Fresno State, Washington, even during his time at the NAIA level, Sioux Falls. His culture is starting to bleed through the locker room, and the flow of practice is a lot more fluid. Guys know where to be, how to be there, and there's a set level of accountability across the locker room. So we can see a culture shift in the Alabama locker room, which is great to see, because you had kind of mixed emotions and ideas of what the culture should be last season with the transition from Coach Saban to Kalen DeBoer. You had a lot of former Coach Saban recruits and signees that were still on roster, kind of in the veteran role, trying to uphold a standard, not understanding that a new standard can be put in place and still produce the same or even better results. So you jump into the conversation on that end, in that spectrum of things. Alabama looks like a top tier team already on roster when you write when you're looking at what's on paper, what's available. We're talking, and this is even without factoring in actual experience on the field. You're talking about just on paper. Alabama is one of the most talented rosters in the country. Definitely top 2 in the SEC. You got to compete with teams like Texas, that's pretty stacked with talent. Georgia, maybe not a lot of experience, but a lot of talent on that roster. And then across the country, you got Ohio State's roster. You got Oregon's roster is pretty talented on paper. Texas A&M is starting to close that gap as far as talent on roster. Things coming together in different parts of the country. Florida, in different parts of the country, and Alabama still remains amongst the top 2 or 3. So when things are looking fluid at practice and you're not having a lot of corrections in place, it's not that the staff isn't being hard, is you've done enough work in the offseason. You've done enough work in the film room during the offseason. You had enough player-led meetings to where even if they're not teaching it like the coach, we're at a level of understanding with our first and second group offense to where if coach says blue and we've been practicing as black, we know what coach means even when he says blue. That's the type of level and the continuity that we're seeing as far as our communication and practice. Shout out to the TikTok chat too, man. Britt, appreciate you over there, big homie. Antonio, appreciate all y'all tapping in over there. We've had 10 viewers come through. Continue to tap that screen for your boy Roll Tide over there on TikTok, and then Instagram also, man. Y'all continue to tap in. Barber Sauce, I see you. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hey, and so turn over to the next phase of how Alabama needs to develop as far as getting ready for Florida State. And before we even get into that, I want to read my tweet to y'all. I want to read this tweet to y'all because I really think this, with what I'm going to talk about and what I'm speaking on today, I really think this is what it's building up to, this type of outcome and production. Because I do think there will be a few nerves there with Ty Simpson, his first start as a quarterback. It's going to be a crazy stadium. If you don't think Doak Campbell Stadium can get the rocking, you don't know college football. Florida State may have been in a slump under Billy Norvell, or I call that man Billy Norvell, Mike Norvell. But Florida State was once a dominant powerhouse of a program, and we've seen them in phases of their school history be a dominant team. And they have a lot of talent on this roster, a lot of graduate transfers, a lot of veteran experience that has played elsewhere or didn't play much elsewhere. Guys looking to prove themselves. We get the luxury of getting them in week one when they haven't had any real live reps to the point where we're getting everything in green mode. And we have an advantage with as much production we're bringing back. So I want to read this tweet, and I want y'all to react to it. Even if you're watching this post live, this is the tweet I made yesterday in regards to the Alabama versus Florida State score. So let me get over here. All right, I said it like this. I said it's competitive early. As a matter of fact, let's change the music up. Let me see. I'm gonna change it up to this. All right. So check this out. I said it's competitive early. Fans will be into it for about 14 minutes. Alabama settles for 2 field goals in the first quarter. Defense plays lights out versus FSU offense. And when I say lights out, I mean straight disruption. I'm looking for the defensive line and the linebacker core along as far as tackles for loss, sacks, pressures on quarterback. If they are able to drop back 24 times in the first half, I think he should not have a clean pocket. I don't care if it's quick game, whatever. He should feel pressure on 18 of those 24 snaps. If he gets 30 snaps in the first half, that means we're not causing enough turnovers. We're not forcing enough 3 and outs. That means the offense isn't able to be balanced and run the ball. If the passing game is not working, the passing game is too explosive. Like, that could mean a lot of different things. But I think the 2 field goals in the first quarter is going to be because FSU's defense is pretty athletic across the board. And a lot of times, your natural athleticism, the hype of the game can really keep you in moments. But once you start seeing adjustments being made, and that's what I love about having Ryan Grubb this season. And he spoke on this the other day during his interview, the ability to adjust is what's key to any successful team. You have a game plan, but what if you come in and you get a different look that looks more effective? Are we conditioned to adjust to that and apply that in real time so that we can be a successful team? And I think this is the outcome of that. D Major said, is James Smith practicing fully 100%? Yes. And the thing is, I told you all, him being held out of scrimmage, it made sense. You got somebody that's dealing with a nagging injury. You don't want to put him in position, especially somebody as impactful as him. Somebody's kind of solidified his place on the team and his impact when he's 100%. That's where you want him at, as close to 100% as possible. So going into game week, you won't see a lot of full contact segments or full contact blocks during practice going into game week. Of course, you'll see with scout team and things of that nature when it comes to defense and how they produce, you're going to see a lot of thud. But as far as guys going full out, full contact, guys getting brought to the ground, you'll see that at a very minimal state over the next 8 days now, 9 days. Over the next 9 days, that's what you'll see. But yeah, Coach Glock, what's good, man? Good to see you. He said, Coach Smook, what's good, family? Good to see you, family. Roll Tide in the chat. Listen, so I said we start off with the 2 field goals in the first quarter. Defense plays lights out. FSU offense struggles. All right. Alabama finds its offensive rhythm. Second drive into second quarter on the ground with Richard Young and Daniel Hill making big plays on a 10-play drive. Defense forces an interception off a tip pass at the line of scrimmage. And this is going to happen at like the 6-minute mark. 6-minute mark, somewhere around the 6 to 8 minute mark. And then we're going to get an interception off a tip pass at the line of scrimmage, which gives the offense beautiful field position in positive territory. And when I say positive territory, I'm thinking maybe an interception by somebody like off a tip pass, somebody like Cam Calhoun for the first one. Off a tip, being that he's going to be playing a lot of that nickel corner position, line of scrimmage. Maybe it gets tipped and he's already crashing on a quick hitch or something. They're trying to get Castellanos to get the ball out quick. Wide receiver doesn't fight back towards the ball that goes up in the air. Calhoun catches it, returns it for about 16 yards. Puts us at our 35-yard line, our 38-yard line. And then boom, we get a trip set with Josh Cuevas opposite a weak trip set with Josh Cuevas off on the right of the line of scrimmage by itself. We see a vertical, something vertical crossing concept from the trips with Ryan Williams being the decoy, getting across the front of the safety behind the linebacker. Josh Cuevas slips underneath the linebacker level and extends his route towards the front pylon. Deep crosser to Josh Cuevas. I can see it happening, man. First touchdown of the season. Ty Simpson. And the crowd goes wild. And after that, defense goes out. Florida State comes in and kind of takes it to the third, taking it to the half. We come out in the second half and put up another 21 points in the second half to beat FSU 41-10. Alabama 41, FSU 10. What's good, big Rod? Good to see you, man. Urban Essence coming through with a $10 super chat. She said for the support. Listen, give it up for my sister, man. She been rocking with us for a minute, y'all. She been rocking with us for a minute. Been a member for the longest. Been rocking with us. Comes through and support every show, even when she don't come through live. I appreciate you 100%. Thank you for your donation and contributing to the Coach Smook Network. Also for becoming a co-sponsor on today's screen. Thank you, sis. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Continue to tap that screen if you're on TikTok. Continue to run the likes up on YouTube. Instagram, continue to react. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for real. Appreciate y'all 100%. Let me add you to this banner. I don't have a DJ back here right now. My boy Glock said, roll it. Roll it, my brother. Roll it. But we're gonna get, let me update this banner, then we're gonna get right back into our conversation. We got about 10 more minutes left. Like I said, not much to talk about, man. Not much to talk about other than what we can expect to see as far as gameplay on the field coming into Florida State. All right. So first thing we always talk about when it comes to last year's defense under Kane Wommack, right? And hold on, man. One thing we always talked about is the ability to adjust. And I think last year, watching Nick Sheridan call the offense was a lot more frustrating to those who didn't understand the focus of this offensive scheme surrounding Jalen Milroe and utilizing his skill sets to incorporate it with the skill sets available. And if you look at the play calling was solid, but there were a lot of moments where you felt like adjustments could have been made within this grand scheme of the play calling. Meaning, instead of giving Milroe the option to keep the ball on a lot of these zone reads, forcing him to hand the ball off. Let's go ahead and run the zone read. Let's just run the zone scheme, right? That's not optioning. Let's not give him the option. Let's hand it off. Force him to hand it off for the next 6 run calls. No matter what it looks like, you hand it off. Adjustments. Let's get pre-snap motion. We did a lot of shifts early in the halves, first half in a lot of games last season. But when things got tight, it's like the play calling sped up. Sometimes you would see that the offense, the quarterback might have been confused and didn't call a shift, and the whole offense is affected by the lack of accountability there and execution. So this year, adjustments to be made. We talk about adjustments on the defensive side before we get into that. Talk about adjustments on the defensive side. The interior run game suffered heavily in the first half of the season. and we saw a lot of different personnel movement around, and things got better. But we still saw, even against Oklahoma, adjustments needed to be made towards the last 2 drives, and we just didn't see it. Let alone let's not talk about the fact that the offense was ineffective that game, but just remember how many times Jackson Arnold was able to break off, big runs to convert on 3rd down, or I think he had 2 4th down conversions with his legs. So we gotta be able to make adjustments. So what do adjustments look like in this year's schemes on both sides, or philosophies on both sides of the ball? Last year's defense wasn't as multiple as it will be this year. I believe that about the offense too. I don't think you necessarily get as multiple. I don't know what you mean by multiple. If you're talking about like being able to use multiple people in multiple spots, I don't think we will see it as much as we would expect because of the depth at each position. One thing that Coach Kane Wommack spoke on yesterday during his interview, his post-practice presser, was the fact that he's confident at 2 deep at each position across the defense. There's secondary, there's linebackers, there's edge rushers, the defensive front, everybody. So when you're 2 deep, you don't necessarily have to stress a particular player or position, because you can give this one an option and this one an option, and allow them to perfect those things, and those things that they're not asking to perfect, those are their secondary / all right, we can sustain, right? We can sustain and progressively grow, building off of the things that we do with our strengths. That's what you see in the development of this defensive scheme. So when I look at the adjustments made for the interior, when you start seeing guys like Tim Keenan, Asai Fega, Stephen Boomer, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman, as far as your interior rotation, the whole makeup of what you're designing to be on the interior sets you up differently. These are all guys that can shoot the gaps and can get loose, and they're great trackers. When I say trackers, you see defensive linemen chase down running backs from behind on the line of scrimmage, or quarterbacks behind the line of scrimmage, or able to converge on screen plays. You see them in tackles and gang tackles 4 to 8 yards down the field. When you see those type of defensive linemen across your front, then you're starting to see adjustments, like as far as personnel. Now, how do we fix the interior run support? How do we fix that? Well, first of all, you got to have linebackers willing to fit run gaps, and they have to be able to see run gaps in order to fit them, right? You can know where to go, but you want to be able to see it so you can time it up. So when you have willingness like Tim Keenan and guys like Edric Hill and Stephen Boomer, who are just wrecking the interior during these scrimmages, you get opportunities for linebackers like Nikai Hill-Green, Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson, QB Reese, Abdul Sanders Jr., Caden Jones. You give them opportunities, guys that work the interior, even your safety support. Bray Hubbard coming down the run fit in between the tackles, right? Keon Sabb. You got guys like Cam Calhoun having to assume that responsibility. Dre Kirkpatrick, Zay Mincy, guys that got to come field and that are physical assets when it comes to tackling, open field tackling, sure tackles, right? Put them in those positions by the effectiveness up front on the interior. And I think we got 4 or 5 guys right there in that rotation and James Smith. I keep forgetting James Smith, who's more to me in the interior side of things. He's more of your elite pass rusher. I don't know what it is about James Smith at his size for him to be able to move and get off of blocks and shed blocks to finesse his way into the backfield and cause pressure. It's amazing to see at his size. It's not like he's a 275, 260 guy. He's 295, 300, 6'5", and can move like one of your bandit guys, Keon Keeley, Jordan Renard, Kelby Collins, those guys. James Smith moves like those guys at his size, him and Jeremiah Beeman. So we're going to see what the tandem and the rotation looks like as far as that, because you have assets that can really shoot gaps and cause disruption, cause offensive linemen to overextend, get out of their lanes, and allow your linebackers to feel and be effective in open field tackling. So what adjustments can we see on the perimeter of the defense? I think right now with Cam Calhoun being on roster, Deshaun Jones getting as much experience as he has, Red Morgan starting to fill some voids in the boundary, Dijon Lee showing up being a day one guy, Chuck McDonald starting to grow, right, with the understanding the playbook in the secondary. Who else we got in the secondary? Did I say I didn't say Zay Mims? I'm talking about boundary corners right now. Damani Jackson, we know what we're going to get from him. Xavier Brown, same thing. Second year starter. I think Cam Calhoun, Dijon Lee really solidify what their secondary and the versatility of that secondary can do at the first level, meaning your corner level, where you want to see your nickel, your husky, your rover. Those guys align over slots and tight ends and be able to just cover. Natural cover guys that can really lock down in man coverage, big bodies that can body up against most of your receivers in the league across the country. So this secondary has an opportunity to be more effective because of what this interior defensive line adjustments we're going to see. And I guarantee you there's going to be a lot more slants and stunts from your front four, your front three than we saw last year because of the depth of understanding. Make sure y'all hit the like button over there on YouTube, man. We got a lot of energy today. I feel like there's some good talking we doing right now. If you're enjoying what we're saying and you agree or disagree, give me your thoughts in the comments, whether you're live or you're looking at this post live, you're commenting. Let me know. I'll reply in the comments. And then also, at the end of the show, we got another announcement about us, a little special. Offensive adjustments. Let's talk about offensive adjustments. When I think about the offensive adjustments, of course, the immediate thing is finding the run-pass balance. How do you do that? I think one way we will see this done is we've talked about this. They've talked about it. We've seen it in the interviews. We've heard other analysts speak on this. Getting the quarterback run game minimized to the at least. It should not be a focal point of this style of offense if we want to see this offense at its full capacity. And I don't think it will be. I think right now this season we will see more design running play calls for the running back, right? Not read options, not RPOs. A lot of design interior run game from this staff. Ryan Grubb coming back to this level of play calling. He's been able to implement the run game in different facets. And what I like about having Ryan Grubb back is not only does he have the play calling experience, but he knows how to utilize guys in their strengths. And right now he has, instead of just having a Dylan Johnson available that can run the ball strong for him in a zone read scheme, right? Interior zone read scheme running between the tackles. You have 5 different running backs right now that you feel like, okay, if I want to get to the perimeter run game, if I want to start getting outside with my jet sweeps and things of that nature, I want to utilize somebody in the running back screen game. If I want to have run pass threat because of the personnel, I have 4 or 5 different assets that I'm comfortable with. So I don't know what type of adjustments to expect. But if I was making adjustments and if I was Ryan Grubb's, his conscience, my first adjustment would be, let's establish the interior run game. You have one of the most physical and experienced interior lineman groups in the country. Allow them an opportunity to lead by asserting their dominance and their skill sets early in the game. And I think that entail a lot of success for Alabama's offense this year, because I don't think across the board, maybe you got 2 guys in your secondary. Maybe you got 3 guys in your secondary that are locked tight, when they're on the field together. But when you have 3, 4 wide receiver assets, and let's just start with base formation. Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horton. When you have 3 guys like that, and then Josh Cuevas is their 4th receiver asset, and then now because of injury to Jam Miller, you got Richard Young coming out the backfield. Those are 5 assets. If they get the ball in their hands, then you're gonna be worried about big play making ability. But at Alabama, they have the luxury of having a Rico Scott, Jalen Hill, a Cole Adams. Danny Lewis is starting to turn a curve. Brody Dalton in that tight end room. Marshall Pritchett. The tight end room is going to be utilized to his max ability. So many of them, I guarantee you. Jackson Marco is going to get opportunities. Brody Dalton is going to be a focal point. Marshall Pritchett is going to be specialized, probably going to get a lot of split opportunities. Then you got the running back room. You don't have to put it all on Rich. You got experienced Dre Washington. You got Daniel Hill, who's ready to butt. Like, there's so many weapons surrounding the quarterback that if you establish what matters first, the offensive line, the interior of effectiveness and their aggressive nature, and allowing them to impose their will, we'll see an effective offense as far as adjustments. And that's the only thing I have for the offense. I don't think the wide receiver blocking downfield, maybe you want to see some more effectiveness there, but you at points, during last season when we did run the ball outside of the quarterback running, you saw effective downfield blocking. We know Jeremy Bernard is committed to blocking. I want to believe that Isaiah Horton is committed to blocking. Didn't necessarily see any of that on his film from Miami, but I want to believe that he's bought in, and that's why he's a starter for Coach Jamarcus Shepard. You can't even get on the field if you're not willing to block for Coach Shep. So that's what I want to believe, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. So after today's practice with the quarterback display that we've been seeing consistently, do we have QB number 2? Do we have QB number 2 after today's practice? And I'm gonna tell you like this: anytime you have the true freshman splitting reps with anybody at any spot, that means that quarterback that quarterback position is open. And today, again, both quarterbacks getting reps with 2s. Keelan Russell leading off today. That's to me, that's good. That means Austin Mack is turned on the switch. Keelan Russell, I don't think he's dialing back or anything like that because he's not named a star. I just think you have such good quarterback development in that room as far as Nick Sheridan, Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer, all these assets available to you to learn from. And it's turning over with 3 smart and high IQ football guys. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in today. I know that's the main thing. Any questions that you have, if you're not catching this live, if you got questions posed live, drop them in the chat, man. Drop them in the chat. Let me know what you want to know. I could get back to them for you in the comments, or we can start doing shorts and vibe responses, however y'all want to do it, man. I just want to be here. Listen, I just want to be here for y'all. And this Jason Jack said Keelan Russell. I truly believe that they will end up putting him on that roster as QB2. I like what Austin Mack is doing. Though. Stepping up to the challenge, continue to compete, continue to get better. And like I said, never been a slouch. Just the mechanics got to be a lot more consistent. Oh, yeah, a couple of updates on the defensive side real quick before we get out of here. Ja Latham starting to assert his veteran presence, really showcasing like, okay, I can still be utilized. Him being able to play that bandit and that wolf position to keep him in the rotation. Same with guys like Fatua Henry. That's going to give you some interior, some bandit type of feels with his skill sets. A lot of guys for Alabama's defensive front out to that wolf, that edge position. A lot of guys to rotate and utilize. Look for us to get a lot of reps and space in between these guys, between Florida State, ULM, and Wisconsin games. I guarantee you we're going to see a lot of balance as far as divvying up reps and things with the defensive front. Linebacker room looking healthy again. Deontay Loss is starting to show a little bit more pop, a little bit more speed. What else we had? Yanzi Pierre looking like a stud. Quay Russaw, Justin Hill. That edge room is nasty. Kelby Collins and Keon Keeley both making pushes to be impactful rotational guys behind LT Overton. I really felt like early in fall camp that Keeley would make that jump, but LT Overton, he just continues to just sharpen his skills. And after the second scrimmage, it was no question that he should be the first guy out there. And Keon Keeley had a good scrimmage, but like I think Coach Wommack said this in yesterday's interview. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent in what you produce. And if that's not what he's doing in practice, maybe he's a game player. Maybe he's a game time guy and will show up on game days and be the dominant player that we expect him to be. All right, y'all. That's gonna be it for us today. Got 30 seconds to get up out of here. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the merch, exclamation merch in the chat, or you can go to the main channel, the main page on the channel, and click on the Linktree link, and you will get what I just talked to the guy that hauled Auburn equipment to games, and he said he might have an opening soon. Nah, man. Hey, you better get that check, boy. If I could drive for them, it's a good little job, boy. I had a partner that used to do that. But when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Don't forget to check us out on TikTok live today. We'll be having some fun on some gaming content here in about 2 hours. But y'all be blessed. It was fun hanging out with y'all as always. And I'm going to say it again. Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at a player. and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Be blessed. Roll Tide, and I love y'all. Continue to support the channel. Thank you to our sponsors and everybody that's supporting this Coach Smook Network and the Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate y'all for y'all love and y'all support. Catch y'all on the next one.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.